Their story reads like a movie script. Girl from a small town ventures to the big city. At a music store, she sees a handsome fellow, a college boy. The shy girl says hello, but she wears a ring around her neck. He knows that means she's already going steady. She walks away. She's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, he thinks. She's a winner. She can't get away. He finds out her school schedule and sits outside the classroom several days in a row. They exchange only glances, but one day, the ring is gone. He asks her to lunch. She agrees, and they go to Red Barn for 15-cent hamburgers. The small town in this real story is Conneaut, Ohio. The big city is, well, Youngstown. Strauss Music Center is the store, the girl is Sue Carmichael, and the boy is Bill Pfund. When Bill graduates in 1965, he proposes to Sue. He's been offered a scholarship to the New England Conservatory of Music, and he wants to marry her and head to Boston. Her father, however, is not convinced. His daughter has 2 quarters of college left before graduation. Bill finishes his first year at the conservatory, returns to Youngstown, and makes a vow to Mr. Carmichael. If he allows the marriage, Bill will finish his degree in 1 year and bring Sue back to finish hers. Dad agrees, and Bill keeps his promise. They are married in 1966. The partnership of Bill and Sue Pfund has lasted since 1963. Family, farm, and music form the glue that has kept them together. Bill says of Sue and their relationship, "I couldn't live without her. I couldn't have accomplished all the things I did in my career without her. We're a great team." Sue and Bill started their musical journeys early. At age 6, Sue began piano lessons. Her grandmother had taught piano for 5 cents per session. Having been taught by her mother, Sue's mom decided it was best not to teach her own daughter. She sent her to Mrs. Elsasser, who was quite demanding. Sue stayed with it and began organ lessons when she was 12. "I have small hands," she says, "and playing organ is easier for small-handed people." But she soon would have a big hand in Greeley's musical history. By age 15, Sue was the assistant organist at her church. She has now played piano and organ at dozens of churches over 65 years, and at, quote, "more funerals and weddings than I can count." Sue was the organist at First Presbyterian Church of Greeley for 52 years. At 5, after hearing a Gershwin piece on the family record player, Bill announced, "I want to be a trumpet player." Both his grandfather and father were electricians, and it was expected that Bill would follow suit. His mother said, "All right, Billy, but you have to take piano lessons first, until you're 9. If you stick with those, you can pick up a trumpet." Bill took piano from Lillian Hailstone, who Bill says was 90 years old and mean. But his desire for the trumpet held fast, and at 9, he was ready. A trumpet legend was born. Bill recalls that his band director, Wild Bill Donegan, was strict and demanding too. His private trumpet teacher, Isoto Pellegrini, the best trumpet player I've ever known, Bill says, kept the young man motivated. "You're going to be a great trumpet player," the teacher told him, "and a millionaire." It appears that Mr. Pellegrini was at least half right. Bill and Sue agree. The strictness of their teachers helped forge their own sense of musical determination and work ethic. The couple's music led them to the U.S. Army Band, the Smithsonian Institute, the University of Nebraska Omaha, and, in 1971, the University of Northern Colorado, where Bill taught until retirement in 2004. He has been a principal player in the Greeley Philharmonic and Greeley Chamber Orchestras for decades. Bill was also a founding member of the International Trumpet Guild, which will celebrate its 50th anniversary in 2026. Bill began designing his own line of trumpets in 2004, a business which still exists today. Manufacturing started just outside the city of Wuhan, China, and ended just before COVID-19 hit. When voters approved the Union Colony Civic Center in 1984, Bill vowed to be the first trumpeter to play there. One evening, he drove to the empty site and in the car belted out the initial trumpet solo in UCCC history. Later, when construction was nearly completed, he and his trumpet talked their way onto the stage, checking acoustics. He figured out where the best acoustical section was, and Bill and Sue sit in those seats to this day. The scope of the Pfund's impact on music is wide and deep. Together they have helped forge a memorable era of music in Greeley. Their son Chris and daughter Linda are outstanding musicians, as is their grandson Calvin, of whom Bill says he might just become the best trumpeter in the world. Shakespeare famously wrote, "If music be the food of love, play on." Bill and Sue Pfund's lives have been filled with music and with love, and there is no doubt that their legacy will play on for years and years to come.